This video is kind of late. It's not 2019 anymore, but I compiled a top 10 favorite rap songs of 2019. We're in quarantine. I've been listening to a lot of music, and a lot of that being old music because 2020 hasn't been a good year thus far. My 10th most favorite song last year of 2019, Comethazine, No Evidence. That 2019 XXL freshman list, not that good. I mean, time will tell. Right now, it's really 50-50. A lot of the artists haven't been able to do anything, and some of the artists have really peaked. Comethazine is one of those artists that hasn't really done anything since that. You know, he dropped a project, and No Evidence being one of my favorite songs off his latest project. And I think I only enjoyed the song as much as I did because his cypher group was trash. I mean, it was basically him and Roddy Ricch doing it. So if you want to enjoy his 2019 XXL cypher, just listen to No Evidence. It's a lot more higher quality and just that much better to listen to. At the 9th spot, I have Wi-Fi's Funeral, Run. A nice up-tempo instrumental, a catchy chorus, and only one verse in between, but I personally enjoy verses I can relate to. Pretty short in comparison. I don't want to say Wi-Fi's Funeral is underrated because I absolutely hate when people call artists that have already made some level of success underrated. More so overlooked. I've been listening to him a lot in the later half of 2019 and at the start of 2020 with his recent release, Everything Sucks. At the 8th spot, I have Trippy Josh with Rabbit Hole. I've been meaning to make a video on him for the longest time. This is just step one in the phase, I guess. You can find it on SoundCloud, and I'll have all the links in the description to all the songs I mentioned within this video. The homie Truesdale put me onto his music, and I enjoy it. Rabbit Hole being one of the singles that he dropped last year that I fell in love with. It was on repeat for me a lot last year. I feel like SoundCloud eventually just started getting a whole lot of ads like every 2 plays of a song, and then it just became unbearable at that point. So Trippy, if you're watching this, put it on other platforms.
They don't even understand about the master plan. Now you need to realize that this life is a scam.
At the 7th spot, I have Trippie Redd, They Afraid of You. This isn't even a real song at this point. It was on one of his albums of last year, but took it off because apparently Playboi Carti didn't want it on. The only good song of his recent, well, not his recent project, but his Explanation Point album, and was carried by Playboi Carti. This could have easily been just the time period we were in. There was no new Playboi Carti music at all last year, except for the exception of like 1 or 2 features. And some of his biggest songs were leaks. So when this dropped and Carti was speaking a whole nother language, I was like, wow, is this art? Hopefully we see it again on Playboi Carti's new album or Trippie's new album. The next song I got is Schoolboy Q, Dangerous. When I first heard this song, this was by far one of my favorite songs of 2019, but as time progressed and Schoolboy Q's album wasn't really that good, that's when it kind of took a step back. But I still enjoyed this song for what it was, with Kid Cudi's opening chorus to the beat progressively getting louder and louder to Schoolboy Q finally hopping on and rapping. Towards the end goes, it starts making this loud screeching noise and Schoolboy Q rides the beat perfectly there. It was a masterpiece. Unfortunately, Schoolboy Q's music is really hit or miss. I enjoy some of his songs, but those are like few and far between, and all of his other songs are like super below average. So I enjoyed this one at least. Good job. At the 5th spot, I have Boogie, Silent Ride. I saw him live in Austin, and he performed a bunch of amazing songs. This was one of those songs I believe he performed, and I absolutely fell in love with. A lot of the unreleased music he was performing there eventually came out on the album, and his album was one of my favorites as well of 2019. Silent Ride was just a feel-good song, a repeatable song of 2019 that I always had on repeat, and it's definitely a nice refresher compared to all the other music that came out last year. The 4th spot, Haiti Baby, Active. I found out about him when he was doing that crazy interview. That's how I first got put onto his music. If you don't know that crazy interview, he just starts making weird noises, and it was actually really entertaining. That interview became a song under the name of Blue Dragon, which is actually really good as well. I'm glad that it took a gimmick of acting crazy to find out this artist who I probably would have never heard of otherwise, and his catalog of great music. I'm glad that it happened, but I'm not glad that, you know, that's one of the things you have to do in order to get a whole lot of new set of eyes towards what you're doing. For the third spot, I have 99 Neighbors, Facts. Been talking about these guys forever, absolutely love them. Came out at the start of the year, January 1st, 2019, when the album dropped, and I've been listening to it ever since. Television was on my top 10 rap albums of 2019. So that being said, Facts had to be, out of all the songs on that project, one of my favorites. It wasn't until recently where I heard them perform it live on a live stream, and they had like a whole different energy about them when performing Facts, and Facts is just on a whole nother level.
What's next, bro? I could chef y'all appetize. I won't change cause niggas iffy on they ride. Yeah.
Let the facts speak, I ain't worked up, I'll be fine, keep on working, we'll be strapped in. 99 sold our last show, now I'm the asshole, but that's fine.
The second spot, I got Kanye West, On God. I did a bracket video for Kanye, and a lot of people did not like that On God was beating out all of these other iconic Kanye songs, and I said in the video it was the new Kanye release, and it was what I was listening to. So Pierre's an amazing producer. This song proved it. Gets me pumped. It gets me feel like I could do anything. Kanye has a tendency of having powerful songs, and this is one that I feel is definitely powerful and carried by the production. And at the number one spot, I have Juice WRLD, Maze. 2 years in a row where Juice WRLD has took my number one spot of having my favorite song of the year. Last year, I believe it was All Girls Are the Same. This year, Maze. Maze is by far, in my opinion, Juice WRLD's best song that I've heard. Relatable, and hopefully with all the way his music is going to be handled this year and for the foreseeable future, hopefully it is handled a lot better than X's situation in terms of just throwing all of his music out there. Not only is Maze one of my favorite songs of 2019, at this point is probably in my top 10 rap songs of all time. That might be a future video. Let me know in the comments below. What were some of your favorite songs of 2019? Did you enjoy any of the songs I mentioned on this list? Let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, share the video around, and I'll talk to you in the next one.